Okay, welcome to the stage someone recently of this parish. We have to wait for a moment. Stephen has props. He even has a beautiful assistant. Sorry, I've used your day.
Jeremy, was that props or props?
Ask him later. Okay, I'm pretty opinionated. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I don't know anything. So I shouted out that I talk about Neo, I talk about politics, I talk about geo, I talk about football, poachers, and anything that you suggest. So here's your opportunity to help me out. Just call out anything, Chris will write it up, and I will do my best to get it into the next 5 minutes. So,
football team!
Right, this is my equivalent of a grumpy old geo man. There's going to be a lot of what bugs me, a lot of puncturing hype, and a lot of ranting. So let's start. Come on, let's get to it. Social media. Do I give a fuck where you're drinking Starbucks? No, I don't. And I want to get a bit of politics into this. You may think you're the bloody mayor of Stratford Hilton. You aren't. You're just another geek playing with your toys. So now the question is this ever going to make any money for anybody? Yes, it bloody well is. Those guys who start Foursquare and Gowalla, Google or some other idiot is going to come along and buy them because they haven't worked out that there's no money in this stuff. Hyperlocal advertising, a load of hype. It's never going to work because there'll never be enough people in a small area to feed the stores that are going to pay to have the advertising on the Foursquare. Forget it. GPS. GPS, wonderful. Yeah, rubbish. We've all forgotten how to find our way. When was the last time you actually stopped a real human being and said, how do I get to so-and-so?
I'm a man!
Do you know what happens? Do you know what happens when you ask the way to the Arsenal? The guy has a chat with you. He says they played really well last night. They won 3-1. Wasn't that fantastic? Right? Hey, does anybody remember paper? We actually used to use bits of paper and we found our way and it really worked simply. We didn't run out of power. It didn't matter. So,
get yourself an iPhone.
Everybody, how are you going to say that? I mean, I just want to tell you something about iPhones. Did you know that there are people in this room, let alone outside, who haven't got an iPhone? Right? And yet we've got thousands of people out there who just think that make it and put it on an iPhone and it'll be wonderful. Which takes me to open data. Is it wonderful? Is it crap? Well, let me tell you something. If Asperometer is the best thing that you can get, it's fucking crap. Sorry, Thierry, but I've got to try and catch up with you. Right, so we opened up Ordnance Survey data. It was a great result. Or, well, who would have thought it? So, where's this wellspring of great economic resurgence that's coming from opening up this data? I'm waiting, and I'll tell you what, I'll be back next year and I'll still be waiting. But whilst we're talking about Ordnance Survey, derived data. Come on, guys, get it on. Anybody could sort this thing out. It's about time we got it finished. So, it's time to talk about football.
Lego.
Okay, Lego. It's time to talk about football. Right, the first thing I want to know is, who's a Manchester United fan? Right. How many of you have ever been to a bloody game? None of you live in the city. You're all a load of tossers. So, there is a point to this. How was I going to get football into geo? Right, well, I've been talking a lot about the fact that the industry is going to change. Let me tell you something. I think it's like the Premier League. Right, we've got the big four vendors. Now, what I want you to do is help me. What team do you think best represents Esri?
Lego.
Okay, in my opinion, it was Man United. Who are we going to put Google? Well, I'm going to put them along as being the Chelsea of the Premier League. The Nokia? Well, I think they're probably the Man City. They've got bundles of money, but can they put a team together? The Yahoo? Well, that's obvious really, isn't it? Right? They're the Liverpool. And finally, we've got the Microsoft. Right? Well, everyone knows they're just like Tottenham. So that leaves one company who are going to be a really great player in the Premier League of the geo industry. And guess who it is? It's Apple. And who are they like? Arsenal! Okay, you can't do a
All
presentation.
style, no substance.
Are you talking about the football team or are you talking about me?
Is there a conclusion?
Leave it.